Hello everybody, my name is Trailmaker and I'm back with an exciting match. Today we have the Day Clan taking on WTF with a little bit of friends on their side. So first off we have Gaunt. Representing the Day Clan, he is using a Eurocorps Airborne deck. Worth noting, he has a decent number of infantry favoring that Legion 90, and with these he will be able to do a rapid assault and be able to grab some very good forward positions. As well worth noting is that he has a lot of air superiority fighters here, as well as some Tornado ECRs. And in a game that's very, very dominant on Napalm, having a player with a strong air defense strategy will definitely pan out very easily. Next up, we have Too Fat for Airborne. He's using a US mechanized deck, and expect to see a lot of mechanized decks. In fact, it'll be small variations that will make the difference. In this particular case, Too Fat for Airborne is actually favored very heavily on the Bradley IFV. Note that he's chosen to choose the Rifleman specifically so you can get that Bradley IFV. He's got a lot of them. And just to nail down that point that he loves that Bradley, he also has the Bradley CFV, which is basically the same thing in almost every single way. Lots of heavy tanks in this deck, but most other categories are relatively small, going very heavily on that tank with, infantry fighting vehicle with infantry support. So, yeah. Moving on. We have another mechanized deck. This one is, interestingly enough, Scandinavian. And don't, dismiss it right away. Scandinavian has become very popular again because of the brand new meta that focuses so heavily on infantry. And he's gone for the higher end of the Scandinavian infantry, including the Fallskream Jager with the Bell 204, which will allow him to join in on that air rush. When you look down the other categories, though, it's pretty clear that he's going to be the meat of this team. He's going to be throwing a lot of infantry at the enemy at a relatively inexpensive price. No particular fancy vehicle use here, nothing like that. And he has mostly bombers. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's all bombers. So he's going to be very, very aggressive with infantry. Finally, our celebrity of the Day Clan, their leader, Topspin2005. I just call him Topspin. He's using a West German mechanized deck. So we have lots of mechanized decks. And once again, tons of infantry. And this map will favor very well for that. We have lots of towns to fight over. Not much in terms of anything else, but it's worth noting that he does have lots of Leopard 2s. Leopard 2s, of course, are heavy tanks and very easily killable by air assault. He also has the KWS, which will assist with his air superiority strategy, which will work very well with that airborne. These guys will probably be dominating the skies. Moving on to the WTF-ish clan, we have Das Angel Merkel. Das Angel Merkel is using an Eastern Bloc deck. And when you look at it, it's a pretty all-around deck. There's nothing that really sticks out here, nothing particularly bad. He has a MiG-29s for air superiority. He has the T-55 ZPB for your medium tank awesomeness. And he probably will be able to help on a lot of flanks with this. Lots of rapid assault here. For Firestarter, we have, wait for it, Armored USSR. Yes, a man after my heart, Armored USSR. Very weak in the current meta, but we'll see what he can do with it. He has a ridiculous number of medium tanks here, including a couple of T-80 variants as well. We'll probably be spamming tons of T-80s. With the armored approach, and he's definitely done this, you need to have a very strong ground-based anti-air setup. So he has 2 Tunguskas and a Strela involved there. And the reason for this is that if they send planes to destroy your tanks, you should have a ton of ground-based anti-air to wipe them off the face of the earth. Moving on to captains, we have another armored deck. This one's an armored USSR. And we're going to see a lot of higher-end tanks. So lots of T-80s, a few mediums, T-72s, but mostly just tanks. And worth noting, he has lots of Motul Strategis, and they're all BMP-1s, which are a very powerful anti-tank weapon. Finally, we have Rape Man. And Rape Man has an Eastern Bloc deck and has gone for a lot of these new units. and has once again a pretty all-around good deck. Medium tanks, lots of anti-air, lots of infantry with great fighting vehicles, and once again a balanced air approach. Not a lot of bombers, but does have some air superiority fighters. That's some good apple juice. Let's get this game going. And I get a text message. And the game didn't actually start. Apparently, it starts in 1 minute. This is awkward. So very awkward. Alright. That's the way I like it. And starting off, we're going to see the cheap Crusaders being thrown here by Gaunt, trying to get that early air superiority strategy. And worth noting, they do have these Turres CH-53Gs, which are very, very fast. Helicopters will be able to grab these points very quickly. The Crusaders, just to try and wipe out any kind of other enemy air units, helicopters, so that they can secure the front. That was a lot. And as you can see, WTF has gone for a very potent ground-based strategy. This air rush used to be insanely popular. It fell out of popular use because you don't actually get that many units with it. And you can kind of see right off the bat, 1, 2 infantry, 2 AT. That's not a lot. And it looks like they will be successful in grabbing at least 2 of these areas with Juliet. But keep in mind, small numbers. That was actually quite ballsy. The wrong unit, they would have been screwed. Now the Paw Tiger will be lacing some rockets down on the BMP-1Ds, as well as some rocket pods to try and stun in place. Prizik Igla is out though, and that is scary. Oh my god, 1 hit point left. He's actually stunned. He could go down right now. This would be a very bad early loss. False Grim Yuggers are all getting pounded here by them BMP-1Ds, and here comes a Napalm Bomber. The Mirage is in. Is the hit good? Will he cover the proper terrain? He gets it. In fact, he's burning the water right now, so he can't even cross the bridge. This might save the False Grim Yugger from most of the line of sight as well. It looks like 1 unit doesn't back go down. The Paw Tiger is able to escape. Going down to other flanks, look like Blue, which will be our Day, has been successful in actually successfully securing Echo as well. Bravo. These are the neutral bases and are moving into the forward towns area to face off against, who is this? Captains. It's Captains and apparently Das Angel Marticle as well. And looks like we're going to see Mechanized versus Mechanized. Unmasked. And the matchups cannot be any worse right now for high explosive. We have infantry fighting vehicles with BMP-1Ds. These are going to smash to these vehicles. They have that awesome napalm grenade launcher thingamajigger to do a ridiculous amount of damage. There are some nice little Sakalos over there trying to get some pot shots off. They will need to kill a lot to keep up. And looks like they're actually not getting very good shots at all. Missing a lot of BMP-1s right off the bat. And this infantry battle will no doubt go towards WTF right now. Just so many freaking infantry coming in here. And not really much in the way of powerful units here. These Scandinavian Stormers are going to try and move in. And he needs to get a lot more of them. Strength in numbers is a Scandinavian code. Moving down the middle here, things have changed for the worse. Those 2 infantry have been killed. A single ATGM Milan squad trying to do any kind of damage he can. Currently wasting rockets on an MTLB, which could hypothetically kill him. Nope. He won't. And so it looks like the very early lead they had has been largely eroded right now. Initially very successful moving forward, now problematic. Alpha Jet is going to go in. Prizik Igla gets some shots off. 1 hit point gun gets the Alpha Jet. The napalm does go off. Good on him. Will Grenzers take any damage? I don't know. Any kind of sneakiness? Nope. 0 sneakiness on the ocean front, although we do see lots of units being staged up here to kind of try and defend against amphibious assault. Worth noting the completely non-standard position of the FOB for topspin in this random corner here. Also, oh dear lord, there is a recon unit here that got totally caught by a Kiowa. And we could see air superiority fighters sliding in here. Nope, looks like you can continue with the bombers. These are the special ones, I believe. Yes, these are the special ones. Special forces of the Czech Republic. Maybe it's Poland. Anyway, yes, things are going very, very bad. This armored column here by Firestarter has been doing very, very good at doing all the damage that needs to be done. Mirage Bomber going to come in here. What's he going to actually hit, though? What is he going to hit? We have the Tunguskas and the Floss Bells, and this is what I was talking about earlier. When you have this armored approach, you get those big, nasty anti-air vehicles to try and wipe out that category. So far, we have a moderate bleed here by the Day Clan, which could be cleared up relatively soon. In fact, here he comes, walking all the way across the bridge. Completely nonsensical, but here they are. And kind of surprisingly, with the ridiculous number of Stormers that were brought in here, the Scandinavian Mechanized, remember, from High Explosive, he was actually able to push all this back, which is great. And now we're seeing the replenishment of units coming in here, as well as a bunch of T-72s to try and do some support. And these T-72s, which have been veteraning up, are eventually going to do ridiculous amounts of damage. For now, they're just kind of surviving. I think we have our first artillery unit out. Yes, it's going to be a Caesar from Gaunt, our Eurocorps player. And the Caesar is insanely powerful. Just stuff dies and you get very scared. And on a surprising note, they've actually been able to keep alive a lot of freaking tanks. Ooh, neutralized Juliet. And still pushing in, by the way. You were all being thrown out to try and bait some rockets. Was able to bait 2 of them there. Very, very good. And we have lots of infantry moving in here. Sturm Pioneers. Yes, that's a new unit, unfortunately. And it's a napalm unit. Coming in to squash that rifleman. And secure this town. But still, this town here is very scary. We might need to see some napalm action. But I can't really remember whether or not the WTF plan has napalm units here. Fighting Falcons are going to go ahead and drop some bombs. And one... Oh, there we go. That's what we're talking about. And, yeah, it looks like it's mostly just going to be infantry fighting vehicles, which are going to be largely ineffective in this fight without proper infantry support. Was able to get 1 infantry killed. Wow, this is actually a ridiculous number of T-72s coming out here. And it just continues. Yeah. God, this guy has been super effective. This 1 AT has survived the entire... Sorry, 2 ATs have survived the entire game. Just picking up lots of vehicles. He's going to be, probably at the end of this game, a huge psycho killer. And we have some vehicles being tossed out here. They're infantry fighting vehicles, so they do have a moderate amount of use. But they're more valuable draining the enemy's resources and scouting than they are actually using, unfortunately, in this particular setup here. And the AT continues. Will he get the BMP-1Ds? Oh, yes, he does. Very good. That will be a breath of fresh air. 1 Moto Strategy has come in, and there's no real line of sight here for any of these units to start firing. And there we go. There's the line of sight we were looking for. We'll begin reaming in on that Moto Strategy, and there's not really any infantry supporting the WTF side so here. So this should all be cleaned up really, really soon. In the middle, we're seeing flags of attack by Firestarter here. These are just giant areas that will be great for napalm. Tornado ECR being effective in the sky, just trying to pick up any kind of radar-guided anti-air systems they can. So far, finding them wanting. And we actually see an extra command being rallied here. Really, rather interesting. The extra command will actually allow for a decent amount of shots. And whoa, the tornado is down. What the hell? God, that's crazy. I've rarely ever seen one of these things fall. Well, we learn something new every day. Ah, yes, the Technos is gonna kill the target. Oh, it's a waste. It was only a 10-point vehicle, so it was totally a waste, but all is well that ends well, I guess. And this is a kind of a WTF thing. They rallied an extra command for 2 reasons. 1, you can use that extra command later. And 2, you can have more security from dying from random bombings and whatnot. And pretty ballsy move here, bringing in a lot of infantry, a lot of motor strategies with some infantry fighting vehicles. Going to wipe out this one legion, and possibly also the Panzergrenadiers. Unless he doesn't unload. Oh god, Panzergrenadiers are just such psycho killers of vehicles. And whoa, a Caesar moved up to the front. No doubt lost all of its ammunitions here. What a huge problem that is. And yes, it's empty. But we do have a call for attack, and being very timid in the air are WTF right now. And they you know, for a while I just thought they don't have anything. This is just a really solid game from them. Playing these guys, because this isn't WTF really. This is like the best of WTF and friends. It's been very impressive for them to hold on. Not to mention the fact that they are winning. They're taking points off of them. So this push into the woods has been, you know, relatively successful. They got rid of Panzergrenadier, and they can probably get the second one as well. Tanks are moving into a nice little surround here to try and do a lot of damage and support. And yeah, actually, Panzergrenadier unsuccessful in hitting any targets. So very soon we could see a full push out of Juliet by the WTF clan, assuming they don't make mistakes. Mistakes are problematic, but they do exist. And Milans everywhere. Oh, the AT in this game is so ridiculous. And he's actually got the tanks in the woods right now. He might just kind of just jump in there. And this could be a mistake. Let's see if this Yager can get up a shot or not. That will decide things. Actually, they're targeting the Spiz BMP. I don't know what Spiz means. I assume it's special something. People love special. And yeah, this could go very bad very quickly. Bleeds, of course, happen at a rate of 1 point per 3 seconds per 1 point base. So, you know, hypothetically, they could win by just holding on to this 1 point. And my computer is dying just as a ridiculous number of cluster bombs are coming in here. These are the rocket artillery units. The Fulong's group has been stunned in place. We have some TR, SP, CH-53Gs coming in. Might be just a bit too late though. Any anti-air? A Sopel. Brand new units. Got a nice little gun on it too, the ZU. And not able to pick off these TRSPs. But might not actually have enough even with these Fallschirm Jagers coming in. Fallschirm Jagers are really good, but they're not so good that they can negate not having an army at all. And the Sopel even joining in to get a few pot shots on that Autobuchanan. So good at just wiping through these infantry numbers. And it's possible they might have to fall back here. On the other front, no, nothing really happens. Stalemate. Wow, they have a really good spread in the south here. In fact, an Eagle are going to try and come around and pick off some of these artillery units. So we have a little bit of napalm has been splashed here to try and block these units from moving into position. Might not last very long. All they have to do is get into one of these towns and they're set, they're secure. It means they've won the game. God, that Sopel is so lucky. He almost got squashed by AT fire. And now the Harpons are coming in. And the Harpons might be able to make the difference. In fact, all these Moto Streliki are down. They weren't successful in getting to the town. But we have BMP 1Ds coming with fresh Moto Streliki. And BMP 1D are going to be very, very good at taking care of this Harpon here. Moto Streliki on the side flank here, actually getting some great shots on the Harpon. Might be able to completely wipe it out. Moto Streliki is firing. They've identified. They know where the command is. That has happened. It's the Furong's group, which has its weapons completely on exposing itself. And we're going to see some artillery on the Furong's group right away. 2 of the units in that group are now down. And Could be seconds. One more down. They only have 2 left. Here comes the Jupiters to try and resupply it. Totally different approach. T80U just got smashed by some rocket fire. Look at that, 2 hit points left. Where is the anti-air here, people? Where? And that is kind of why this is risky, as is. The Furong's group has 2 more hit points left. Looks like artillery fire has ceased on it, and we need to see an infantry move up. An infantry sacrifice for a better position. Looks like these Bradley IFVs are getting caught in a bad position, as well as the Fallsturmjägers. Not confused with the Fallsturmjägers. And did he do the move up yet? I don't believe he has. In fact, there's a lot of freaking units coming in here now. More than he can currently handle, actually. He's got to get in here and get this Furong's group just in the least so that he can move forward. So that he can get those bleeds, those precious bleeds. And boom! He actually gets it. And here comes the bleed. WTF now with the +1. And they will be adding some points to the score, which is essential. Rocket artillery, super valuable here. Morale has dropped all around, stuns all around, and now they'll be able to get all their units into positions that they want them to push them completely off this point. Without this little spot here, the only other place they can get is over here. But worth noting, Firestarter has actually already taken that over. God, you're so lucky, Firestarter. Seriously, like, this tank would be destroyed if it was anyone else. But Firestarter is so good. Former World Cup something good. And we have tanks coming in. By the way, World Cup is coming. Sometime. I don't know. Could be anytime. But it's coming up soon. It's gotta be. It's World Cup season. So we have a repelling of a lot of forces here by the Day Clan, and now they need to get a command back in there so they can stop this bleed. Because right now their biggest advantage is the fact that they're winning. They don't have a great position advantage right now, which hurts a lot. And you can see WTF just so good with their recons. They have a lot of them behind enemy lines, including these special Jednotskis, which are also secret ones. They've also been really heavily using these AT units. I understand they're cheap, but dear lord, that's been a lot of AT. Just trying to squash any kind of tank or vehicle that they can. So the Bradley IFVs leading the charge. I don't know if that's right. I really don't. And they will be joined by lots of riflemen and lots of stormers. So this is going to be a joint attack here. We have smoke on random locations being placed here by WTF of all people. Defensive smoke? Brilliant! Just came to what happened. So the Stormers have actual anti-infantry rifles. The PV Group RBS 56 do not. They are an AT unit. He has smoked out the anti-infantry units so he can try and reduce the damage on the Motor Strelicky so he can get the AT unit. Genius! So, yeah, we have a pretty big assault coming here from Day. And this has wings. It might make it. Lots of Stormers, lots of Bradleys, lots of things that kill infantry and kill tanks combined together is always going to be good. And there's no real air response here by WTF. Like a bomber here would be absolutely devastating. And WTF still using that smoke. Try and smoke out some locations. And here comes that bomber we were talking about. But looks like it was just a little bit too late. Missed every single target. He'll need to recall in that bomber relatively soon, because this infantry total here is ridiculous. With this town captured, no, there really isn't a lot here. We have a town here, but we don't have anything in the way of covering this area. And I just realized my window has been open this whole time. 1 second, please. That's an airplane, by the way, by an airbase. Alright. Headphones are awkward. There we go. No more airplanes. I don't know if you can hear that airplane. It's pretty airplane-erific. And loud. Why do I have to live next to an airbase? Alright, what did I miss while I was gone? Let's see. Yeah, looks like these Motos Junkies will die. Still trying to smoke out some locations here. I'm assuming it's try to stop the AT from hitting T-72s and whatnot. That's all I can really think. It does reduce the number of surface areas that you can attack from. I mean, if you're here, in this area, you can be attacked from here and here. But if you're only being attacked from here, you will deal more damage by smoking out the area where there's a dude there. So brilliant. I wouldn't have even thought of that one. And we have a few vehicles coming in here to try to add a little bit of support. AT, mostly all around. And some PTR Conquerors being tossed out here by Das Angel Markel. Which, now that I think of it, it might actually be Dirty D. Not entirely sure. But looks like the smoke was actually imprecise. No, it seems to have worked out. And Moto Sturiki dropping on top of the Riflemen. Riflemen, of course, are not actually that strong in the game. Very, very weak. But they're fairly cheap for what they are. They're not an elite unit by no means. And this defense here, ooh, lots of vehicles being lost. These Conquerors are actually just going to try and walk up and get rid of some of these AT vehicles. This might be too much, but oh my god, what happened? Why is it +3? Oh, look at this. Oh, this is so tactically smart. This is so good. He got all this roadway covered, so he just snuck a command in here with a few infantry and a special one, and there's not really going to be a lot they can do about it. Not with this front-forward push focus happening here, and they might be just too focused on this front action to even realize they're down 2 points. This might be very hard for them to recover from. They really need to get things on the go. Worth noting, brand new unit, the Ondava, added to the game for Poland, maybe Czechoslovakia. Let's go Czechoslovakia. But it could also be Poland into space as well. It's a really wonky artillery unit with some defenses on them. And we're getting flags down now. These AT units have become kind of a thorn in the side of WTF, stopping them from advancing and also helping the push. And this Kolos is in a really funny position. If it gets shot, it could destroy these 2 infantry. So it's actually against the interest of the Day Clan to destroy this supply truck. However, it's resupplying the units that are attacking it. So they also need to destroy this thing. So you have this kind of wonky situation where there's a unit that needs to die, but it's also going to kill you. And looks like he's making the right choice. He's going to go ahead and try and kill that Kolos off before it resupplies too much. And we also have like WTF being super aggressive with these Moto Sturikis. And somehow that Kolos is still not dead. That is insane. Yeah, this might be unrecoverable right now. Oh my god, we're going to have some pretty big bombs going off. Remember, this is the giant block of AT. This is what they're worried about. And does he get the precision he needed? No! He totally missed. And formed some sort of penis shape. Some sort of penis shape. I see penises everywhere now, I'm sorry. Alright. Moto Junkies are actually getting pushed out. They're actually going to retreat. That's rather unusual. Most people sacrifice their infantries, but not this guy. He's actually playing for keeps. He wants to keep them alive. And he has a lot of vehicles covering the area. T-72 gets a kill, but gets killed itself by this ridiculous amount of AT. And a cluster bomb hits this area for a nice amount of damage. And we have more infantry coming in. So basically has his bases cleared. I mean, he did lose a lot of infantry there, but he still has more coming in. On the downside, Day has a pretty bad situation here at Bravo. Looks like Martel VTSIs are coming in to try and take this out. Looks like they're actually able to push the command out. And now they're going to try and pick off maybe infantries. Or just going to hold them there. Looks like just hold them there. Anyway, bold, brave attempt here at taking that Bravo base. It worked. And now they're just +1ing on this middle base, which they own. And look at the side flank here. Instead of pushing forward once they hit the middle, they're now going in for a flanking maneuver here to try and cut off any forces that try and join up with this middle army here. Middle army is still quite strong, however. There's at least another 30 infantry in here. Riflemen, I believe, as well. Maybe not riflemen, actually. Maybe stormers. Yes. And there's really not a ton in the way of infantry coming up here for WTF. You know, we have double mechanized decks for WTF. You should see some more infantry. And the bomb is good. It will get, you know, one of the NM13 vehicles, leaving one of the infantry units completely destroyed with only one hit point missing. Artillery fire, by the way, being very, very close range and super effective, gets a good shot off on the Stormer. So with 15 minutes left in the game, we're looking at a match that might be very difficult for Day to win right now. Pushes continuing forward on this one little crossroads. Ooh, heavy going down to lots of anti-air units. And we have a rifleman kind of rushing forward a little bit too, and this is what I'm talking about. The dominance of the air in this game is ridiculous. But they're so easy to kill. Looks like the special ones are finally down. There is a Strop 2 here. Will be found eventually. And yeah, nothing else behind enemy lines. Using that rocket artillery on a KO. Oh my god, it's awesome. Oh, here comes the MiG-25, caught off guard. And down. Crash down. So, not really much in the ways happening right now. Yeah, we just got that last little skirmish here. See if anything happens. Oh yeah, MiG-29 out. Apparently the Supentard died before it even got a shot off. And now we're seeing this kind of weird phase where you circle around your MiG-29 in hopes of picking up a unit. And here comes the tornadoes! Getting those awesome shots off, as well as a Peace Rhine. Peace Rhine's, of course, a high value, differing unit. Got a shot off an MTLV, not quite worth it. And comes the Eagle and Prowler. Now here comes the mother of all shots. Oh my god, yes, that was good. That was very good, boys. Oh, bomber versus bomber. In which the Alpha Jets actually don't have anything to hit. Ooh, we got a stun on one of the commands here. This could be bad. This side flank has been absolutely brutal. Has been picking apart this guy. And he's slowly losing the forward town. We could see ascending as a stomp, I think. Pretty easily. Peace Rhine. Went in for the T-80UM. Got a little bit greedy there, though. They make amazing bait. You just bring your T-80UM out, and people just send planes out like crazy. And then they go, why did my 2-point thing did not one-shot my 1-point thing? And by the way, I'm +2 again. Because this point has been basically cleared out. And it's going to be very difficult to get a command in there again. Just because there's such a potent military blockade everywhere. Oh, here comes the Crusader. Not even going to engage the MiG-29. And he shouldn't. The MiG-29 will kick his butt. In fact, the MiG-29 is kicking his butt, and he's not even remotely aware of it. Well, this is probably the end of a DLC 1 game. They have 7 minutes left. Not really much we can see from here. It looks like we're seeing some infantry being tossed here by Firestarter. And Firestarter is not the one who needs to play aggressively here. Nor is any of the WTF. The aggression has to come from the Day Clan, because if they don't get aggressive very soon, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Like losing the game trouble. Not like police trouble. Yeah. So as we wind down the game, I think it's pretty clear WTF will win this. Yeah, I know. I'm curious as to how much exactly they won this. What was the trading margins here? And still playing overly cautious. I don't know. MiG-29 coming out to trying to patrol those skies. Here comes the Raphaels. They're roughly the same in terms of viability. I would say MiG-29 is probably a little bit better. And lots of Prowlers being tossed in here. The F-1 Eagle are going to go ahead and drop a bomb on what? Apparently nothing. Nothing at all. And, yeah. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. I really wish this ending was a little more climactic, but, you know, this is Wargame. There's no climaxes. The whole game is a giant climax. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me today. My name is Troublemaker. If you want to see more great Wargame content, make sure to like the video. And if you are not already, make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.